Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's an open cut. Kinda. I mean, I got to play the role that I'm really bothered, right? You wouldn't expect anything less. I don't know. I think I'm just softening up with older age. This is nothing like the 04s winning twice in 3 years. I don't know if it's because of the NIL. I don't know if it's because of the transfer portal, or I don't know if I'm just really impressed with what I saw. This basketball team being up against it, being out of it, down double digits in several of these games, down at least 6 points in 4 of the 6 tournament contests in the second half, including down 12 last night, but no fear. And you beat Houston at their own game. You beat Houston by playing better defense down the stretch. Consider Saturday night late. Duke looked exhausted. Duke was absolutely up against it. They didn't look conditioned. They didn't look ready. They looked like they had spent the summer doing whatever, and it was like their first or second or third college basketball game. They were talking about Duke and all these 5 stars. Duke was only, one of, I think, 3 teams in this year's NCAA tournament from a power conference that actually had 3 or more starters who had been at the same school for 3 years or longer. And that in itself is crazy, but that is the basketball and the times that we find themselves or ourselves in. And Florida, they find their way to come back and win this basketball game. We know that Houston outscored Duke 11-1 in the final 1 minute and 10 seconds on Saturday night. Do you realize that with 2:05 left, Houston scored 15 points in the final 2:05 against Duke to win that game on Saturday? In the final 2:05 last night against Florida, they didn't score at all. They didn't put up 1 point in the final 2 minutes and 5 seconds. And the box score is a little bit more even today than I thought it was as I was, following the game, looking on Twitter as well, looking at the statistics and everything else that was going on. And, certainly one thing that really stuck out for me is that in this basketball game, Houston had the lead for 30 minutes and 44 seconds. Florida only had the lead for the final 64 seconds. That's it. 104 in this game. The other time, obviously, the basketball game would have been tied, about 8 minutes or so of time there. But Houston just was in control. And your best player did nothing in the first half, right? Scoreless for the first 20 minutes of play. Walter Clayton Jr., who still got the MVP, and he deserves it. I mean, what he did against Connecticut, and certainly, the shot of the tournament, in my opinion, was when he took it out of the key and buried that three-pointer against Texas Tech a couple of Saturdays ago. But he goes 3 of 10, 1 of 7 from behind the arc. But in that 7-minute stretch, with like 7.5 minutes to go, and then right at 7 minutes, Walter Clayton Jr. twice took it to the rack, drew a foul, and made the free throw. Those were huge 3-point plays down the stretch. And, of course, he made a three-pointer himself, his only one in the game. And it all adds up to the Gators winning a national championship. So we got a lot to do tonight as far as that is concerned. I made a mistake with Adam Kaplan. I just found this out right now. I had him scheduled for 6:22, but I look at my phone, and I somehow wrote 7:22, Maybe that's because I drank 40 Pabst Blue Ribbons last night, and I had a little trouble adjusting with the numbers here this morning. So it doesn't look like I'm going to get him any earlier. So we're going to be real busy in our second hour with a lot of NFL talk. I hate to put Adam on at 7:22, but you got to take what you can get at this particular time. And I always love my conversations with Adam Kaplan. I especially enjoy just texting him in general. He's always a real good dude who's certainly in the know and always does respond whenever I do reach out to him. So we do have some football, which we're going to get to coming up here momentarily. But absolutely, I want to give credit here to Florida after winning the national championship. And, I wonder how this is going to sit with fans long time. We're seeing a total identity change in sports, which is awful, but it's also the time that we live in. It was opening day at Fenway Park the other day. They represented the 1975 World Series team. They brought them back, and I kind of have mixed feelings about that because they were losers. You shouldn't celebrate losers, right? The Big Red Machine of Johnny Bench and the late Joe Morgan and the late Pete Rose and Cesar Geronimo and Don Gellett and Eddie Armbrister and Tony Perez and Dave Concepcion and Ken Griffey Sr. They beat the Red Sox, but they brought them back anyway and saluted them. And as far as I'm concerned, hell no. Yeah, I mean, do you want the Florida State team that won 19 in a row before getting blown out by – you want to bring back Jordan Travis and celebrate them, as some sort of memorial? No. It's about winning. That's it. Everyone else is a loser. 68 teams entered the NCAA college basketball tournament. 67 schools are a loser. There's only one winner, and it was right down the road. But anyway, my point is, growing up then, your identification with the players was everything. 1975, man, Fred Lynn was the first player in the history of the game to win the Rookie of the Year and the most valuable player in the same year. Right next to him was Jim Rice. Jim Rice didn't get nearly the attention from the media, fanfare, whatever. Hey, Boston's always been considered a racist part of the country, and that certainly was evident back in the mid-'70s. A Hall of Famer in Carl Yastrzemski. A Hall of Famer in Carlton Fisk. You should have a Hall of Famer in Dwight Evans. You should have had a Hall of Famer in Louis Tiant. But they brought him back. And that was a cool time growing up then because you identified with those players. And for the Florida Gators, man, those 04s, you identify with those guys. Billy Donovan's winning a couple of national titles. You watched them get better as freshmen, sophomore, and juniors. And what we're witnessing now is a change, and it's not as good, but I also think it has an opportunity, when it's all said and done, to be more powerful. Because this year's national championship, although you always remember Walter Clayton Jr., this year's championship is about the school. It's about the team. It's about the Florida Gators. It's not about the individuals, okay? And that is where we're seeing things turn in athletics. Same deal with what we just witnessed in college football with Ohio State. We'll witness it coming up this summer with college baseball. And it'll be the same thing once we get into college football next year. It's not going to be the same for anyone who wins a national title because you do have problems nowadays having a love affair with a player because you haven't been able to watch him grow. You didn't get the opportunity to see him as a true freshman. You didn't get the opportunity to see him advance as a sophomore and then a junior and possibly a senior. Instead, now it's just come and take him, come and take him, come and take him. And that's everywhere. And again, you have to adjust. You can't be stubborn like Dabo Sweeney and not go out and take advantage of what is there for you in now the transfer portal period. But, yeah, I'll be interested. Now, no, right now you're on cloud 9. Right now there's nothing that I can say where it's probably going to have any effect on you. I'm sure you're going to tell me that this one means as much to you and you love these players as much as you did the 04s. And I'm like, okay, sure. Because, again, you're on the cloud. Check in with me by the end of the year. Check in with me a year from now. And be honest with yourself. Is it going to be the same thing there? And depending on how you look at it, again, it's not a bad thing. I think it's disappointing for kids. You know, I think it's disappointing for younger folks who could look at Noah and look at Humphreys and look at your great players and follow them and you know, dream about someday being them. I don't know if that registers when you play 40 basketball games and that's the only opportunity you get. But for the name, for the recognition and the school, I think that is what takes center stage. I mean, this is almost like in an era that is all about individualism, right? It's all about me. You can be down 8-1 in a baseball game, and if you catch a middle-in fastball and you tear it out of the stadium, you're going to stop and stare, and you're going to take 40 seconds to run around the bases, even if the score is only 8-2 and you're trailing. Individualism is so huge today in sports. This was a team victory. And this was one that will be looked back on, I think, as a Gator win, not so much about the individuals who actually did take part in it. And again, I'm not trying to say that this is different for just Florida compared to every other championship that we are seeing now in college. Again, it was the same deal at Ohio State. We know what Ohio State did. They went to Kansas State to go get their quarterback, right? Ohio State's quarterback went off and played this year at Syracuse. Now, maybe the Gators will be on the other side of this. If Lagway can get healthy and throw, if he sticks around for 3 years and you guys catch lightning in a bottle and possibly play for a national title, win a national title, there could be exceptions to the rule. Right? Even the great Jordan Travis was a transfer. He played for a year at Louisville. A lot of people do forget about that. But anyway, that's just my point of view on this. I'll be interested in yours. I think Florida fans will have a problem identifying with this because you, again, are so excited after winning it. But I think other sports fans out there for other teams may have a better overall thought as to what I am trying to say. And depending on how you look at it, right? I think it's better for the team. It's better for the team name. It's better for the school. It's not necessarily better for the individual players. All right, last night it was all basketball, so we really didn't even have an opportunity to get into our conversation on Trayvon Walker and Devin Lloyd. I definitely want to mix that in tonight as the option has been picked up for Walker. That's a no-brainer at $14,751,000. And that's 2 years remaining. He'll play that out in 2016. Or 2026. He's going to make $11.8 million coming up next year. This has been mentioned quite a bit, including on our show at other times a little bit earlier in the year. No one is surprised that the fifth-year option has been picked up. That had to happen. And I firmly do believe that Trayvon Walker is really a huge part of this organization moving forward. He's the next guy. And we saw it with Campbell and Hines Allen and Little and obviously Trevor. He's the next guy. I think he's the only guy. You know, who else is up? Who else are you going to go to? Anton Harrison in 2 years? You know, Brian Thomas Jr., sure, but that's 3 years away. I mean, that's a lifetime in the National Football League. But my opinion continues to be just relax here a little bit. You know, let this thing play itself out. I understand that the Jaguars have plenty of money to go on out and do whatever they want to do, and that includes getting a deal done with Trayvon Walker right now before the regular season gets underway. But why not let him play year 4 of his rookie contract? And why not let him play year 5 of his rookie contract? The only problem would be if he knocks it out of the yard, right? He becomes that much better of a player. Does he become the most dominant player on this defense? If you're ranking defensive players, Dylan, quick, Trayvon Walker, defensive players, what number do you put him right now on the current Jaguars roster?
Defensive players, I'll put him at 1.
Okay.
I think he's the best.
He you know what would be a good argument? I think it's between 3 people, he along with Foye Oluokun.
And Josh Hines-Allen.
Yeah, there you go. Those are the 3. And, we can have a healthy argument on that. But why not let him play it out? And he's not a diva. I don't think there's any risk of him not showing up for camp or saying, I want a new contract extension. I don't believe that that's the case. There could be. The only problem with that would be if Trayvon Walker gets that much better, if he enters superstar status, which he hasn't yet. He has improved in 3 years. He has quietly picked up 20 and a half sacks over the last couple of seasons. But if he becomes that good of a player, then yeah, you're going to get caught and you're going to have to end up paying him that much more money during the back end of his contract. But I also think you have to look at it this way. And I mentioned this, I think it was last week. I mean, seriously, folks. And I hate to dwell on it, but it's true because it's an adage, right? That NFL personnel will say the best way to be successful in this league is through the draft and then to re-sign your own drafted players. Is Maurice Jones-Drew the last of a re-signed drafted player who actually lived up to his contract? Tony Baselli? Fred Taylor? Who's the last guy that this organization drafted and re-signed? Who came close to living up to the contract? Are you going to try to tell me Telvin Smith tonight? Are you going to try to tell me Miles Jack? Are you going to try to tell me Devon Hamilton? Are you going to try to tell me Tyson Campbell? And it's only been a year, but I mean, come on. Are you going to tell me Josh Hines? You're going to say, well, Josh Hines-Allen actually was better than his numbers. There was no interior push, and Hines-Allen was worth that money last year? Really? Trevor's deal hasn't kicked in yet, so that would be unfair. You know who the current man on this roster is who was drafted here and has lived up to it? Logan Cook. But that's the scary part. Just look through the years. There's only been 30 of them. We're in year 31. This is not, historically speaking, a long franchise. It's very easy to do the research. Who has this organization drafted who you had to re-sign? And then he came even close to living up to the money. That is a scary thought. And I don't care if you're Gene Smith. I don't care if you're Dave Caldwell. I don't care if you're Trent Baalke. And now welcome to Duval, James Gladstone. It's a bad trend. And the trend to me says, take your time with Trayvon Walker. You don't have to get that deal done today, my opinion. Shmunez Vision, second generation family right here in town, owned a medical practice. They provide first-rate medical and surgical eye care. They focus on value. And value, what does it mean to you? To me, it's what's coming out of your pocket, right? As we move forward in life, that includes eye practices where they have all this advanced equipment. Well, they got it at Shmunez Vision as well. And they'll tell you, well, this is the latest. This is the biggest. This is the best. It's always the most expensive. That's not always the case for your eyes, okay? Everyone is different when it comes to your eyes and what they're doing at this particular point in your life. You may be dealing with allergies right now. Pollen is all over the place. I mean, it is absolutely brutal, okay? Set up an appointment today. Visit the good folks at Shmunez Vision. They'll tell you if it's an allergy situation. They'll tell you whatever it is that, in fact, you have and set you in the right direction. Also, laser eye surgery. You're talking about more than 30 years worth of experience when you talk about Dr. Neo Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, and Dr. John Hunt. Go to Instagram. Get all the testimonials there at Shmunez Vision. Or better yet, you can check them out online at Shmunez Vision. Okay, again, I screwed up on my booking here tonight with Adam Kaplan. That's my mistake. So we're going to have him coming up in our second hour. We're also going to bring in the Boston Capper in the second hour in his golf expertise as to who he likes from a handicap perspective at the Masters, which is 48 hours away, less than 48 hours away. But we want to hear from you. 641-1010, always the best way for you to join us on the text line that is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Hey guys, I'm Greg McDowell, PGA Tour golfer, and you're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM. Cheers.
St. Johns County parents, does your kid have energy to burn? Want them to play a sport for their middle school? Sign up today for the St. John's Middle School Athletic Association. Tackle football, dance, and cheerleading. Who doesn't want their kid to be the next NFL quarterback or dance floor diva? You know how fast your kid can go from playing Xbox to practicing their touchdown dance or sideline cheer? Visit sjmsaa.org. sjmsaa.org.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When pests invade your home or business, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, they'll show up for you and eliminate pests quicker, just like they did at my house, because they care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a pest problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. That's right, Terminix it.
This is the Mangler. Years of playing football coupled with lifestyle left my feet mangled with neuropathy. I was experiencing burning, tingling, and numbness. I spoke with 2 foot specialists and they told me there was no cure. They were wrong. I found Dr. Nate Riddle in Ponte Vedra. After utilizing his neuropathy treatment for only 2 weeks, I noticed a difference in my feet. I was regaining my feeling and balance. If you want relief from nerve pain, call Dr. Nate for a free consultation at Riddle Wellness, 904-395-5598.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Universal Roof and Contracting protects your home and your wallet. Invest in a stronger roof and save big. Right now, get 15% off roof replacement and repairs. Financing's available with monthly payments as low as $115. But this deal ends April 30th. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
The best teal-colored coverage includes Mia's Quick Hits.
Get the latest news from inside the building and around the league. I'm Mia O'Brien, 1010XL's NFL Insider.
Driven by Arlington Toyota. Available on the video and social channels of 1010XL.
When persistent plumbing problems leave you feeling flushed, don't panic. Call Roland Reich. They quote all pricing in advance, so your only surprise is how quickly they'll solve your issue. Roland Reich Plumbing. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. There was a time when if you handed me a bread basket at a restaurant, you better watch your fingers. Pizza, pasta, bread. Carbs were absolutely my weakness. I'd be lying if I said they didn't have me hooked. Then Awaken 180 came into my life. I've been down every diet road there is, but this is different. It's not just another diet. It's a total reset of how you see food. You know that carb craving that we all accepted as normal? That's gone for me now. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoy the good stuff, but here's the difference. I no longer feel like I need them. So when the server puts that bread basket on the table, I just smile, sit back, and say, nah, I'm good. That feeling of control is all thanks to Awaken 180. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180. Hacker lost more than 110. Ballou is on his way, and you can lose whatever you want to lose. It doesn't matter what your goal weight is. Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely. It's a clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180 has changed my life, and it will change yours too. Give them a call at 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com. Trust me, you'll thank yourself.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to ITPPartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
It's ET here, and did you know that slow speed accidents can still cause serious injuries? Ignoring minor pain today can mean big problems tomorrow. Don't wait. Call my guys at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center, the auto accident experts.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars begin their official first day of OTAs. Voluntary minicamp will be on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of April. Hopefully, there will be media accessibility for that, but OTAs underway officially for the Jags. I know there's been video of certain players making their way into the Miller Electric Center. Tonight's show is brought to you by Alexander Law Practice. If you have been injured, that is obviously a concern. You need attention. You need individualized attention. Contact my buddy Rick Alexander. Over 30 years now, he along with his team, they're going to focus on guiding you through the entire process. They're going to be responsive. Is there anything worse in life than people who do not respond to you when you reach out to them? I can't imagine what that must be like if you're trying to reach out to a lawyer. So if you've been in a car crash, if you have been injured in any possible way, take down this Alexander Law Practice. That is alexanderlawpractice.com, or give them a call for a free review at 400-6600. That is the good people at Alexander Law Practice. How cool would this be? Egg salad sandwich at the Masters, $1.50. Pimento, $1.50. Pork barbecue, $3. A Masters Club is $3. You can get a chicken biscuit for breakfast for $2. You can get a soft drink for $2. Bottled water for $2. You can get a domestic beer for $5. An imported beer, $5. I just, I wish this happened more. I know Arthur Blanks does it in Atlanta. And I understand that it's a great way to generate enormous amounts of revenue. And that is something that owners in every sport are going to do. But it's just so pricey. And whether it's a game or it's a concert or it's anything where it is entertainment, that the prices are just insane. And we as the consumer are going to buy them, right? You're going to want to have a cocktail at a game. Lord knows, man, you need plenty of cocktails to watch the Jaguars play. You can't go through that sober. But, I mean, $5 be so cool. It really would. But Not many places where you will see that. Some minor league sports, you'll see it, right? You'll see it even in town here with minor league athletics. That's the way it should be, but not when the big boys are out there playing. All right, Dylan, how'd you feel last night, especially when you guys were down 12 early in the second half?
Yeah, I felt just like I did when Florida played Texas Tech. I was like, yeah, it's probably not going to happen. And then somehow, some way, Florida goes on a 9-0 run, and they tie it up, and you get down to the end, and I'm glad that this isn't really the talking point. The officials, I know that, a lot of people like to gripe about it. In the final 7 minutes of the game, Houston had 11 fouls. Florida had 1.
Didn't they have only 4 free throws combined in the first half?
Yeah. Yeah, there was only like 8 fouls called, I think, in the first half total, and then there was like over 20 in the second half. Florida had 2 techs. It was I hated that. I mean, it was like first half, let them play, do whatever. Second half, we're going to call everything.
Yeah, and that was my point last night. Regardless of the outcome, please let's not have it come down to the officials and making a mistake. Very reminiscent of the Cooper Flag offensive foul that was called, on the free throw line late on Saturday against Houston. And, Duke fans still haven't gotten over that.
No, and I mean, there was at one point in the middle of the second half, Houston had 3 fouls in 9 seconds. I mean, that only happens if you're trying to hack-a-shack somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like that, but Florida was resilient. Going back to what you were talking about in your first segment, this Florida team, and I know that this is in the moment, and it just happened last night, but this Florida team and how they are in this NIL era, it feels a little different just because they were so selfless. Like every game, Walter Clayton had to be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Scored 30 points back-to-back, lead 8, Final 4. Last night, couldn't get nothing going, and it didn't matter to the team. It didn't matter. Like, there was no egos. Alex Condon didn't have a good tournament, had a decent tournament, had his mistakes, but he played a good tournament. Elijah Martin, Will Richard comes up with some massive threes in the first half, keeps Florida in it at the half. I do feel like that 05-06, they're going to be, in their own category. But, man, that team last night, Walter Clayton and all those boys, they're going to be in that rarefied air, obviously, for winning the title. But they're going to feel like ours, even though they played for different schools for most of those guys.
The 2904 says, Blue, I totally agree with you. I'm a huge Red Sox fan. I have been my whole life. But you don't bring back a losing squad. That is the MLB equivalent of a participation trophy. What the hell is that? Right. And back in that era, in 1975, there was no such thing as a participation trophy. You won and you lost. It was arguably the greatest World Series in the history of baseball. And the Red Sox lost. The Red Sox finally won a World Series. They've won 4. You don't bring back losers. And I'm sorry, but that's just the way that it, especially in a town like Boston. If you wanted to rep Artis Gilmore and the late when JU made it to the Final Four, that's one thing. A small school, a private school, they had an unbelievable and unprecedented run. That's one thing. But when you're talking about professional athletics, you don't bring back losers. And that's why in some aspects, my hometown, Boston, is a third world city with their thinkers, with the important, well-paid thinkers, okay? I recognized that when I was 18. Why the hell do you think I waved to Boston in the rearview mirror and said, let's head on down to God's country, all right? I recognized it then. But for crying out loud, I mean, stop it. You don't rep losers. That 1996 Florida State-Florida game never should have been played, that rematch. But in the same token, do you want to roll out the red carpet and bring back those 96 Seminoles and say, hey, let's have a party? They lost. They lost the game, right? I mean, Florida State won 19 in a row. Mike Norvell did not have Jordan Travis and the team ready against North Alabama, so you had to run Jordan Travis. He broke his leg, and then we saw what happened a few weeks later against Georgia, right? You want to bring those guys back and say, hey, Let's have a party. No, they lost. They weren't coached well. They weren't ready for North Alabama. You don't have to run Jordan Travis against North Alabama. Mike Norvell did because the guys weren't ready. And no one wants to admit that. No one wants to look at the truth. 7370. Hey, Rick, love the show. Yada, yada, yada. Not a job at your Knowles or anyone else, but I'm going to let you be the first on 1010XL to know. Florida is the only school in the NCAA history to have 3 championships in football and basketball. Most schools are one or the other. That is from 7370, who says, West Side for life. Is that true? I would have thought that, well, the two that would stick out to me would be Oklahoma and Texas. Michigan State, didn't they win some football titles back in like the 40s and the 50s? Michigan, I know they won it in 89. I'll take your word on it. I would have thought that those would have been the schools, though. Ohio State, Michigan, maybe Michigan State again if they won some football championship. You know, back when Alabama won it every year, it's like, hey, it's Lenny's Tack Shop. He's giving a national title to Alabama. They only went 7-3 this year, but let's tack that one up right now. Bama, another natty.
Michigan State won 6 titles. Mostly
in football?
50, in football, 52, 57, 55, 51.
Because they played the game of the century, Michigan State, Notre Dame.
Yeah, 65 and 66 for the last 2.
How about hoops? Tom Izzo's got at least 2. Maybe they're 1 short. But what other school? Is there any other school in the SEC that you can say that about? I don't think so, right? Alabama and Auburn don't win national titles. LSU, no. Tennessee, no. Kentucky would be the obvious one, and even in the even in their heyday,
Michigan State won 79 and 2000 basketball.
Yeah, they won with Magic Johnson and Greg Kelso. Tom Izzo's only won 1 national title.
Yeah, I would have lost that bet. I thought they won one in the 2010s.
Okay, even Kentucky with Paul Bryant. I don't think Kentucky won any natties. We'll take your word for it, 7370. West Side for life. 1201 Blue, did you see the video of Trevor walking in the facility this morning? He looked like this guy's saying really unkind things. Words, are you trying to catch me? I'm going to stack pads right now. Like Bernie Perrant. I'm a big goaltender. I'm like Ken Dryden. Or the late Tony Esposito. No, I'm not going to say things like that about your quarterback. Nice try, though. Nice try. I'll give you credit for that. 12-0-1. All right, we got much more to do. The Boston Capper at 7 o'clock. Let's take a look at the Masters from a gaming perspective. Again, that's about 22 or so minutes away. Prisco had a fascinating mock draft 2.0 today. I don't know if you saw it, but with the Jaguars, really a shocking development. If you do not know what I am talking about, good. I'll share that with you on the other side.
Florida Gators.
Congratulations, Gators!
Saluting right over left. This is the flagship station of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Ballou here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Care you can see.
This is Mark Nato. My sons and I have seen the doctors and PAs at Southeast Ortho for everything from lumbar spine stress to elbow tendonitis. Southeast has always been there, been truthful, and always been on point. Everything they say happens. We can't thank them enough for what they've done and the great care that they have taken of our sons.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by
By now, you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
For the greenest, luscious lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
Hey gang, Prosser here, and it's always great when you can replace a problem with a promise. And let me get right down to it. When it comes to Chad and Sandy and selling your home, here's a promise that you can count on. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Now, more. Spring selling season is here. Rates are down. Activity's up. Now's the best time in years to sell your home. Some homes are sitting on the market, though, and hiring an expert who can maximize your equity and minimize hassle is the key. Those expert agents, and I'm recommending them to sell your home, Chad and Sandy Newman. There have been lots of you out there on the First Coast who are taking advantage. Take David and Heather in Fox Ridge. This is out in Orange Park. We wanted to move to Keystone Heights to get closer to family, away from the city. We heard Chad and Sandy on the radio and called. What you hear is true. We got multiple offers and sold in 3 days for $15,000 above asking price. Call the local experts I trust and recommend to sell my home and yours. Call Chad and Sandy, 414-6200, ChadAndSandy.com. Jeff Prosser here for Lloyd's Heating and Air. Need a leader for commercial, retail, multifamily, or hospitality projects, or top-tier residential service? No gimmicks, no mascots, just real expertise and hard work. As your trusted statewide mechanical partner and local family-owned team, Lloyd's is the name Northeast Florida counts on. Visit Lloyd'sHeatingandAir.com. Lloyd's Heating and Air, keeping you comfortable in every season.
You'll always feel good when you send someone a Kuhn Flowers floral or plant arrangement. This is JJ with 1010XL, and no matter what the reason, Kuhn Flowers has always come through for me. Order online at KuhnFlowers.com.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyoublow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Looking for an engagement ring in Jacksonville? Here's a pop quiz. Which Jacksonville jeweler cuts out the middleman and guarantees the lowest price on any diamond? I'm thinking it's... No, it's Beard's Diamonds. Question 2. Which jeweler in the town center has thousands of designer engagement rings and a multi-million-dollar diamond inventory? I'm going to say... No, it's Beard's Diamonds. Question 3. Which jeweler in Jacksonville offers an unbiased diamond education, a lifetime upgrade, and free maintenance for life? How about Dude, you should have learned by now it's Beard's Diamonds. Final question. Which jewelry store in Jacksonville hasn't been sold a few times and is currently not owned by a national conglomerate? Beard's Diamonds? Ding, ding, ding. Now you're getting it. Beard's Diamonds guarantees a better selection, an unbeatable price, superior warranties with no corporate rule books, no commission salespeople, and no chain store atmosphere. Beard's Diamonds, Jacksonville's jeweler. St. John's Town Center.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
According to 3800, Coastal Carolina is going to give out free concessions at every home game this year.
Yep. Came out about a week or two ago.
Unbelievable.
That might be one of those things where they play a lot of Tuesday night, Wednesday night games.
Right. Can't be free booze. Can't.
No.
I don't think that's illegal, right?
Might just a popcorn hot dog.
I mean, when you were in Florida, you never had bladder busts or stuff like that. That's been outlawed by now, right?
Yeah, they just cleared alcohol, I think, when I was in school. It was a massive deal. Now it's just like, whatever.
We used to have a bladder bust where everyone drank free until someone had to go to the bathroom. And it was a place called The First, spelled Phyrst. And it was a legendary place. But I don't think that stuff is technically allowed anymore. But apparently, according to our listener, 3,800, one of our listeners, we've got about 7 now. Coastal Carolina. Free concessions. All right, let's get to Prisco. We got a little war going on YouTube. Tiddly Bit says, please don't talk anymore about Gators. Then Dennis Poviak says, you do realize it's the flagship station of the Florida Gators. Hef says the officiating was horrendous. Railman CT says, hello, Rick. CRS 092, Rick, you should try to get Derek Trucks on. Interesting, I just went back and forth with Derek a couple of days ago. He went from London to New York. And he and his band were in town here a few weeks ago working on a brand new album. And then they went off to Nashville to put everything together. So Tedeschi Trucks have been incredibly busy. Derek was going to play with us, but he can't. Then his brother Dave Trucks was going to come out and play tomorrow, our event at Cimarron. And looking forward to that. We'll be out at Cimarron tomorrow. Hopefully you'll pop in after and have a cocktail with us. We're going to have $4 wells at Cimarron. We'll be getting off the golf course around 4:35, 5:36. Do the show 6 to 8. They're going to have a simulator of the 12th hole in Amen Corner. So I'm going to have all the details for you, but I don't know what exactly it costs, but it's going to go to a junior golf association, which is pretty cool. But I don't do a lot of those video games. As a matter of fact, I don't do any video games, but I have done some stuff on a simulator, okay, golf related. And it can, I tell you when it's cool. It's cool when it's raining outside. And hopefully it won't rain tomorrow. But we're going to be out there. We're going to have a lot of fun. Aaron Beasley's going to be out there. Donovan Darius is going to be out there. Some other NFL former Jaguars are going to be out there as well. We're going to have a big party over at Cimarron. It's no tournament. It's just hey, take a day off of work. Come on out. Enjoy yourself at Cimarron. They've been a long-time sponsor and really excited about the event they have put together. Okay. Pete Prisco. Have you heard of him? Pete today came out with Mock Draft 2.0, and it immediately blew me away. Cam Ward, okay, goes to Tennessee. We get it. There's more and more about Travis Hunter in Cleveland. As a matter of fact, let me find this for you. These are the latest odds on the top 3 picks. Okay, Cam Ward right now is minus. Well, it's 1 to 200. Okay, I mean you got to lay down $2,000 to win $100. Good luck with that. 16 to 1. Actually, that would be 20,000. It's minus 20,000. Minus the 1 to 200 is the ratio there. So an absurd bet. No one would ever make something like that. Then it's Abdul Carter, 16 to 1. Travis Hunter, 40 to 1. Second pick, Travis Hunter. Right now, minus 250. You got to lay $250 to win 100. Abdul Carter, second, plus 160. You lay 100, you get back 160. I don't like what the folks in Vegas are feeling right now with Travis Hunter. Then the third overall pick is Abdul Carter at minus 175. So it keeps on feeling like this draft is going to go Cam Ward to Tennessee, Travis Hunter to Cleveland, Abdul Carter to New York, and then Will Campbell at number 4 to be the future left tackle with offensive line coach Doug Marrone in New England. And that really hurts my heart because the two players that I want more than any are obviously Travis Hunter, far ahead of everyone else. And then if not, my pick would be Will Campbell at number 5. But anyway, let's get to Prisco. He goes Travis Hunter at 2, Abdul Carter to New York 3. Again, Will Campbell 4 to New England. He has the Jaguars making a trade with the Chicago Bears. Chicago moving all the way up to get the running back in Genti. 6 is Bear in the corner. 7, Mason Graham falls all the way to New York, the Jets, at number 7. The tight end Loveland at 8, going to Carolina. Shador Sanders going number 9 at New Orleans. So, once again, Jaguar fans, if you want one of those position players, you absolutely need to have Sanders go either 2 to Cleveland or 3 to the New York Giants. But then he has Ted McMillan going number 10 to Jacksonville after Jacksonville made the trade with Chicago. Dylan, do you remember talking about this like a month ago or 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, whenever it did come out? Prisco had McMillan in his first mock draft going at number 29?
Yes.
So what has changed that has taken this kid and moved him from number 29 all the way up to number 10 for Jacksonville? For the record, I love it. If Jacksonville's going to trade down 5 spots, I love getting the 6'4" wide receiver. To me, this is the perfect selection. And again, depending on how you look at it, at least right now, he's not worthy of the 5th pick overall. But you would acquire more draft capital. Prisco didn't say what the deal involved. You're going to have to look at the value chart, and I don't know if it's a 2nd-round pick or a 3rd-round pick or whatever it may be, okay? But to move down 5 spots and to get this 6'4" wide receiver who ran anywhere from, a high 4.4 to a mid 4.5, those were the reported times. They did get a little bit slower as it moved throughout the week. Albert Breer had some normalized the times a little bit. I think initially when they did come out, they were perhaps a little bit faster. But just imagine this football team with Brian Thomas Jr. and Ted McMillan, both under rookie contracts, and guys who just want to eat. And you look around, I see Brian Thomas Jr. I've seen him listed at 6'4". I've seen him listed at 6'3". I've obviously stood next to him a bunch. I'm guessing Brian Thomas is 6'2". No more than that. He may even be 6'1" and 5'8" or something crazy like that. Okay, but again, we inflate heights and weights all the time in high school and college. But Ted McMillan, Prisco went with that a little bit earlier today, so I found that quite tempting, if in fact that is the case for the Jaguars at number 10. All right, let's get ready for our second hour. There's several ways that you can join us. Text line 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Love to hear from you there. You can also get us on YouTube. Go to 1010XL into the night, and you can get us as well on Twitter. Just go to Ballou 1010XL. Second hour coming up.
Sports Radio is.
I know what you're trying to do. I'm trying to free your mind, but I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it. You have to walk through it.
1010XL. I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione. Campione Law.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it work. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web. Precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. You've heard us talk about it. Window World, the #1 window replacement company in the USA, selling over 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years.
That's a lot of satisfied customers, and why J.D. Powers has awarded Window World Best in Customer Satisfaction 3 out of 4 years.
Window World stands behind their slogan, simply the best for less. With Window World, you get top quality windows at a price that leaves more of your money in your bank account, and you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement industry. When compared to our competition, there is none. See for yourself. Call the competition. Get quotes from them. But before you buy, get Window World's free estimate and compare the quality of the windows and the price.
You'll see.
And when your new Window World windows are installed and they're saving you money on your energy bills, if anything goes wrong with those windows, Window World and I will be there to make it right. That's my guarantee.
Call Window World today. Start saving money on your new windows and your energy bills, and take vacation with your savings. Window World, online at windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors and siding.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron. Totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens. Also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
The magical basketball ride continues for Gators fans this weekend, and now you can remember all 34 Gators wins with a full-size Season to Remember basketball for only $149.95, featuring scores of every game along with embossed logos, championship history, and more on panels of the ball. Order now. Get one of only 5,000 licensed balls. Call 800-345-2868, 800-345-2868, or visit nikcosports.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Coming up on 7 o'clock right here in your home with the Jaguars. Tough to believe the NFL draft is 2 weeks and 2 days away. Tough to believe that the Masters is far less than 48 hours away. Let's bring in our buddy. He is the Boston Capper, and we love talking golf, and we love to handicap it with him, and he joins us as he goes into the night. Boston Capper, how are you, young man?
What's up, brother? I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing really good. I am. I love the players. You love the players. It's a great event. It was spectacular this year, but it's still lacking star power, and that's what's great about in 2 days because you got the guys from the Live Tour going to be a part of this. And, that's another conversation for another day. I hope the players someday can get these guys back, but I'm really excited about golf coming up on Thursday.
Obviously, right? So it's golf Super Bowl, which is funny because it kind of starts the golf season. People who don't grind it every week versus end it like the Super Bowl. But, yeah, man, we get both golf worlds back together. It's nice to see some of the guys that I dearly miss, like Cam Smith, Brooks, Rahm, top golfers in the world finally get to compete in a real environment. So it's gonna be nice to see.
As you begin to handicap this, I haven't even peaked yet. I never look at the weather. Have you been able to figure that out as far as wind or rain? Have you looked at it? I realize it is, about 36 hours away.
Yeah, so we've been really hitting the weather on Inside Sports a lot lately. So right now, Thursday looks pretty easy. Might be playing a little soft. It might dry out by Friday. It's a little too early to worry about the wind and the wind direction. Usually Wednesday night, we'll zoom in on one of these wind towers and we'll do the best we can with the super forecast about 48 hours out and try to take a little edge. I would say that factors more into DraftKings plays and outright betting and things like that because this is not going to be any type of massive wave split.
Got to start with Rory McIlroy because he won here. He's played some really good golf. We know it's been more than 10 years since he's won a major, and this remains the one he needs for the Grand Slam. So this guy's taken on pressure since he was a teenager, but again, it's going to be immense for him beginning on Thursday.
Yeah, and so I watched his press conference today. He seems really loose. I want to say the last couple of years, he seemed super tight. The stress was really getting to him. I know he traveled with his therapist here 2 years ago. I don't know about last year. He seemed a lot calmer rolling into today. Didn't seem edgy with the questions about the Grand Slams and winning the majors. Usually he gets a little short with those questions. I seem to kind of embrace it a little bit. I mean, look, if it's going to be wet and Thursday is going to play long and is going to play 8,000 yards, I can't imagine a better golf course for him than that with his carry distance and, no roll the way Augusta, cuts the grain and, in the fairways to stop the roll. So it's all about carry distance and the man can carry the ball. There's lots of trends that point in his direction. I know everybody loves their trends going into their Masters League because it's such a predictive golf course. But, yeah, I don't know. So I will say that this sports book here in Florida, the only one we got, they're offering they're not a sponsor, but they are offering $250 basically hedge. If you bet somebody outright and they come in top 5, you get a $250 bonus bet. It's kind of like a free each way.
Okay.
I would say if you're inclined to bet on Rory or Scotty with those numbers, do it that way. Take the top 5 free bet just in case heartbreak happens. Because, look, there's a reason why he doesn't do well here. There's something in between his ears. And, the best year he ever had, he gained 6 strokes putting or something like that. So it's tough to repeat things like that.
The Boston Capper joining Rick Ballou as we get you a little bit closer to the Masters getting underway on Thursday morning. All right, before we talk about some individuals, do you ever look at playing cut line? How many players will finish, in red figures, under par, winning score, over, under? Do you ever do any totals like that?
Yeah, so when I used offshores, I did because they're the ones who offer it. Unfortunately, the one we have access to doesn't offer round scores. Some other states do, which is nice. My podcast partner is very sharp. He might as well be a weatherman. He's ridiculous. I think Friday he got the books for 19-1 for round overs, and it was just based on wind, and they were caught sleeping. So they're pretty good at it. I don't have access to it. Come hang out in Discord, and lots of smart weather guys will let you know what those scores are going to be. We hit them pretty frequently.
Yeah. Before we get your thoughts and who you like, why is Koepka so low, 30-1? I haven't followed the Live Tour. Has he been struggling as of late?
A little bit. I think the number is low as well, right? Just based on who he is, right? I mean, he shows up at majors. It's known. So I think the thing is people always like to see him show up before a major. He didn't really do anything in Doral last week. I like the bet. So I actually bet in future at 40-1 before, 2 months ago. I was just like, if he starts getting hot on Live, this number's going to get to 18. I'm not going to want to bet it. I mean, 30 is still a good number. I would happily sign up for Brooks at 30. He's a guy who's a killer. I did see his pairings. I can't remember who he's with. I know it's a slow player, and he's behind Cantlay again, and I'm pretty sure the Masters are just messing with him at this point.
Yeah, that was one that I looked at with Brooks Koepka. The other one I looked at a little bit was, Terrell Hatton. There's a guy that when he is on, he's, one of the top, I think, 7 or 8 golfers in the world when he's on. And that's the question. Will he be on for 4 days?
He's been off. I mean, he has been off the last 3 or 4 tournaments. He doesn't look like he has it right now. And prior to last year with his tournament history here, he was always shaky. He's on record as saying he didn't like Augusta. It wasn't fair. It didn't reward good shots. He's just kind of, crying about the course itself. I love Terrell. He's one of my guys. I feel like all my guys with the live. But he's been shaky at Augusta. And I don't think the number. I think the number needs to be a little deeper for me to get there.
Yeah. Okay. What do you like, Boston Capper? What are some of your plays coming up?
So it's really tough, right, with being afraid of Scotty and Rory. But I think the Xander number is one of the most fair numbers on the board at 20 or 25 to 1, depending on where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the man won 2 majors last year. He's coming off a rib injury. His irons on his last time out, he gained 7 strokes with his irons, right? And this is an approach golf course. We know he's good around the green, and he can putt. 20 to 1 when you got other guys around him that I would rather light my money on fire than back at the same price. I think that is a very fair number. I don't think we'll see Xander with a 2 in front of his name at any other major this year. So I grabbed Xander at 25. He's at 20 now, and I still recommend that.
All right. Does Hard Rock, do they allow top 5s, top 10s, top 20s?
Yep. And so I think my favorite bet on the board is actually Cam Smith, top 10. It's plus 425 right now.
Wow.
Yeah. And so you want to talk about a unicorn, right? I mean, this guy doesn't – think about it when he won the Players. He lost 4 strokes off the box, right, which is impossible, and he still won. He does the same thing here. His short game is nothing less than just magic. And he's got 1, 2, 3 – he's got 3 top 10s in his last 4 appearances. His irons came alive this week at the Row. I think that number is – wrong. I think Cam Smith top 10 plus 425. I really think that's my favorite.
All right, there you go. Anything else you want to share with us, Boston Capper?
I have some long shots if you guys want to get cute in the Asian market. Kevin Yu has gained 12 strokes in his last 3 events with his irons. Top Asian paying up 8 to 1. Decky, you never know. Benny Ann is kind of spraying all over the place. Sanjay is broken. So 8 to 1 for Kevin Yu, top Asian like that. Our boy Keegan, he's got 2 top 25s here. Top 20 plus 250, hitting his irons good. He lost 8 strokes putting last week. Hopefully he can't do that again. So I think those are the big plays. And Spieth and Rose first round.
All right. Hey, tell us how we can capture your podcast as well, please.
Yeah, so anyway you get podcasts, it's called Hold the Green with Capper and Steve. It's part of the Inside Sports Network. You can find me on Twitter at Boston_Capper. Come join us, man. We're fun. Lots of DJs, and there's about 500, 600 of us every Thursday yelling at our computers about some degenerate bet that pays off on Thursday.
Outstanding. Boston Capper, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, fella.
There he goes, the Boston Capper. Scotty Scheffler plus 4,400, or plus 440. Translation: you lay 100, you win $440. That's an okay reward. It's better than it has been. Rory plus 600. Boy, that looks so attractive. If you're a Rory guy, I mean, you can make 6 times your cash if Rory McIlroy wins the Masters. Tend to agree with him, though, on Schauffele, man. 20 to 1. Wow. For those in between, Morikawa 14 to 1. Bryson DeChambeau 14 to 1. How about Jon Rahm 16 to 1? Well, $100 on Jon Rahm. You win 1,600. Lives right here now in Jacksonville Beach. Ludwig Oberg 17 to 1. Well, $100. You win 1,700 if he wins. JT 22 to 1. Neiman 25 to 1. Koepka all the way down to 30 to 1. Man, what are we missing here? Koepka's got it between the ears to go on out and win a major here. That is a outstanding reward. You know, $100 is going to bring you back $3K on Brooks Koepka. Hideki Matsuyama, 33-1. Tommy Fleetwood and Shane Lowry, along with Patrick Cantlay and Jordan Spieth and Victor Hovland at 35-1. So there you go. Cam Smith, 60-1. See, when back in the days when I bet, I never really did a lot of golf except for to win the tournament. They've really changed this world around now with top 5s, top 10s, top 20s. And, I mean, Rory and Scotty have got to make it in the top 10, right? Well, you got to pay to get it. You got to pay 2-1 to get Scotty in the top 10, and minus 200. You got to pay 140 to win $100 with Rory. That's a lot of money for very little risk in the top 10. You know, but I mentioned Brooks Koepka. You're basically getting, you're getting him at plus 290. Okay? So, it's so hard because you're betting individuals, right? And there's always going to be a guy or two that comes out on Thursday, and there's going to be a guy that goes into moving day that really does some good things. I think, I'm looking at some of these. Round one leader, the total is 64.5. Are you really going to have someone out there who shoots a 64 or better on Thursday? Why do I tend to believe that will happen? And then we'll talk about the fact that there wasn't a lot of wind, the greens were tough or soft, and that it's going to toughen up once the weekend comes around. Will anyone shoot all 4 rounds in the 60s? There's no way I would say yes to that. No way. I'm playing no in a heartbeat. And again, it's obvious. It's minus 800. Will any player set a new course record, 62 or better? Will there be a first-time winner? I haven't looked. I'm guessing there's, probably 7 or 8 former winners playing. If you go back and count some of those who won it way back when, like, Bernard Langer is playing in his 41st Masters. And obviously he won it. Freddie Couples won it. I believe he'll play. I looked at some of the, what do they call it? Some of the pairings that everyone is going to be watching, but I haven't looked at each and every one who is teeing off. For instance, at 9:47, it's Morikawa, Niemann, and Minwoo Lee. Scotty Scheffler, Justin Thomas, and Ballister at 10:15. Rory McIlroy, Ludwig Åberg, and Ashke Bhatia at 1:12. And then another grouping that is pretty interesting is John Rahm, Wyndham Clark, and Tommy Fleetwood at 1:34. Okay. Appreciate the Boston Capital. Let's get back to you on the other side of it. And I am interested in gaming. It's always seemed pretty basic in hoops. If you bet last night, you pick a team. I know you can do live in-game betting. You can bet again in the second half, and you can bet totals, under and overs. You can do all that type of stuff. But golf is a totally different world. I mean, you can go head to head. You can play one golfer against another. You can do whether or not you shoot a certain score, over or under. You can do the entire tournament shooting a certain score, over or under. But you can also now do top 5s, top 10s, top 20s. And the Boston Capital just said that I guess they do have that at Hard Rock. I wasn't aware of that at all. I know that they don't put together a lot of those prop bets that some of the offshore ones used to do, or perhaps still do. Again, I don't know. As much as I love this and talk about it all the time, actively I'm not in it and have not been for quite some time. All right, let's get back to you. 641-1010 if you'd like to join us. That is the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
Cook puts it down. Wright kicks it up. The 53-yarder is good! 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 What a magnificent ending in London!
1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right, Ballou here. Let's get real for a minute. Losing weight isn't fun, right? It isn't easy, especially when your life involves being surrounded by good food at every event imaginable. Believe me, I get it. But thanks to Awaken 180, I'm down more than 10 pounds, right? It's been a month, down 10 pounds. Pretty cool. Feeling sharper, more energized, never hungry. This isn't some juice diet or starving yourself nonsense. I'm eating food that tastes great, even when I'm out on the road. Here's the beauty. Awaken 180 gives you the game plan to handle real-life situations. I've been hitting plenty of events lately, temptation everywhere, yet I've managed to stay on track. That's huge. 10 pounds down, energy up, hunger totally controlled. If you're tired of carrying around extra weight, tired of diets that don't work, it's time to check out Awaken 180. Take it from me, Hacker, Dempsey, and Hayes. Basically everyone. It's easy. Go to awaken180weightloss.com.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
If you've been in an auto accident, you can count on the experts at San Jose Collision to return your vehicle to pre-accident conditions. San Jose Collision can also provide a fresh paint job to freshen up your vehicle or completely change its appearance. They can paint and repair all foreign and domestic cars and trucks. When quality and professionalism are important to you, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Enhance your home with Renewal by Anderson's superior craftsmanship and timeless design. Right now, get $300 off all windows or $825 off patio doors. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months, but this offer expires April 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, maybe even your kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. Don't let divorce take more than it has to.
Offices in Jacksonville. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's attorneys. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Rick Julius, licensed in Pennsylvania only. Online at cordellcordell.com.
Frank Frangie here. I was talking to a buddy the other day. His HOA told him his old fence had to go. I said, man, call Coil Fencing. They've been around the block since 1927. Heck, they probably built half the fences in Jacksonville. They do it all. Tough chain link for security. Those fancy aluminum ones the HOA actually likes. Nearly a century of keeping yards safe and looking good. If you need a fence, call Coil. You can trust the folks at Coil. 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com, COYLE, jacks.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Okay, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. Charles.
6.
Oh, so close. Betty for the steal.
What about the bank that helps you reach your financial goals? Synovus.
Let's see, judges. Yes, looks like we have a winner. That's a number? Sorry, Charlie. Remember, a solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Talk with Synovus about your potential today. Brought to you by Synovus Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. The number was 4.
What is the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth? The answer next.
There's always a good reason to compare homeowners' insurance rates. You may be paying too much. Protect your home with a Southern Oak insurance policy today.
Our family protecting yours.
Southern Oak Insurance.
The coldest temperature ever recorded was in Antarctica in July of 1983. An unbelievably cold minus 128.6 degrees.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not being afraid of the crosses of life. Life can be difficult. Maybe today you're carrying a cross of worry or stress. Let me encourage you to remember that when Christ got on the big cross at Golgotha, he destroyed all the little crosses that we face in our life. He set us free from fear, worry, and anxiety. Our job is not to be carried by the cross, but to be carried by our faith.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Buying a home used to feel like a complete headache. Listings here, pre-approval there, financing somewhere else. Now, Rocket is giving every home one address. Rocket.com. A single, seamless homeownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, and refinance your home. Everything you need, all under one roof. Visit Rocket.com, the new home for all things homeownership. Rocket. Own the dream.
Trying to figure pricing at most AC companies is like listening to an auctioneer.
Who wants an AC tune-up? Do I hear $3.99? How about $2.99? No, let's drop it. $79? Do we have a deal? Going once, going twice? Sold!
Not at Duck Duck Air Conditioning. We make it easy. We're offering a free AC inspection. No gimmicks, no fine print, just a completely free checkup from our highly trained techs to make sure your AC is ready for summer. Call 904-862-6769 now to schedule. Duck Duck Air Conditioning, because free is better than bidding. Any required repairs are not included in the inspection.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
No place I'd rather be than right here. Hogan Road, outside of course, the Blue Crab House. Tuesday night, $1 steamed oysters. That's good until 9 o'clock. So it's 7:22. You have plenty of time to get out there right off of San Jose. It is on Julington Creek Road. Steamed oysters. That is actually tomorrow night. Excuse me. Wednesday night. I thought it was Wednesday for a moment here. Right now, you have $2 margaritas at the Blue Crab House. $9 margarita pitchers at the Blue Crab House. So go ahead and check that out. Boy, what a tragedy in the Dominican Republic. Have you seen this story? 66 people were killed at a nightclub when a roof did collapse. They include former big league players Octavio Dotel and Tony Blanco. Also, the governor of a province in the Dominican Republic, the sister of Nelson Cruz, Nelsie Cruz was her name. 66 people have died. 160 people were injured, according to the Dominican Civil Defense. What a terrible story. Just shocking, Dominican Republic. I know a lot of people slide on over there to play golf. I've done it. It's a very interesting country. It's a beautiful country. I'm going to the Jamaica next week. I was in Curacao last month. I love to do tropical places. It's kind of my deal. And I've always really enjoyed the Dominican Republic. Some of the great golf courses that you'll find in the world. And, I had a buddy who lived out there, and we went downtown and did a lot of things. It's a very interesting country. And I thought the people were pretty friendly out there. But, boy, you just look at all the baseball players that are coming over from the Dominican Republic. When I was in Curacao last month, all over the place, there are billboards with Major League Baseball players. I mean, they just love the game over there. And you look at all the talent that's coming from those countries. Man, more bad news. Hate when that does happen. 4704 Blue on with Prisco. Every highlight of McMillan I've seen has a cornerback tied to his waist. Separation has been a problem for the Jags. Stick with the big body with the 10th overall pick. Yeah, and I just looked up on YouTube. Robert Kemp tells me at the Combine, Brian Thomas Jr. came in at 6'3" and 3'4". So I went to ESPN. He has him listed at 6'4". I went to another source on the Google, and it said 6'3". Man, I mean, maybe he is. I've stood next to him. I would have sworn 6'2". Yeah, maybe even a smidge under, as I said. But I just don't. I think of Brian Thomas Jr. as so many things. But I have also been one of those who have said they really need a big receiver. If he's legitimately 6'3" and 3/4, that is a big receiver. You know, I'm thinking more of the 6'4", 6'5" guy. McMillan is clearly 6'4" and maybe even some change. Trevor had those big wide receivers, as we know, at Clemson. So, does make you wonder. 5262 asked about this type of crab. They have all sorts of crabs, and they are seasonal at times. Okay, the crab legs are outstanding when they get them. I love the snow crabs. Snow crabs at the Blue Crab Crab House are second to none. And to me, that is what to go with. By the way, you can't lose with a 6'4" wide receiver. 1201 says that. Why is anyone talking about Montrell Johnson, running back out of Florida? The kid is a runner. I think they will talk about him later in the draft. I totally expect Liam Cohen to get himself a running back, probably, in round 4 with one of his second-round picks. We've been saying that all over. You have the 5th pick, the 36th pick, the 70th pick. Then the deal you made with Minnesota brought you the 88th pick. So you're getting 5, 36, 70, and 88. That should be 4 really good football players. Then in the 4th round, you get 107 and 126. 5th round, you get 142. 6th round, 182 and 194. 7th round, 221. There's only 2 teams with more picks than Jacksonville, who has 10. There's a couple of teams with 11. Enormous draft capital here. Who was it last week who said if you want him, trade up and get him? If you want Travis Hunter that much. Boy, the cost there, it feels like he's going to go number 2 now to Cleveland. I hate how this story is starting to really come to fruition. I wish Cleveland instead would say now they want the quarterback, and they're going to go with Shedeur Sanders or Abdul Carter, and then you have New York say, all right, we're going to go with the quarterback and go with Sanders. But right now it doesn't appear that, so much of this could be smoke screen. So much of this could be just stuff that gets thrown out there on purpose. And then we'll actually see when everything does transpire. This guy's no, and I wanted information out there. No. Hey, listen, I don't take anything personally. This guy said, yada, yada, yeah, I'm not taking a jab at your Knowles or anyone else, but I'm going to let you be the first. He gave us that statistic about the Gators now in hoops and football, winning 3 titles in both. I responded to him saying that I am taking this as a jab. Absolutely. Yeah. 66, 67. Blue, huge Gator fan, but we suck at everything right now except for basketball. And maybe if Lagway stays healthy, I get sick of our fan base. We have a great year in baseball and basketball. All of a sudden, the sport is relevant, but everyone knows football is the main sport. Well, you had a great turnaround, though. Look at your second half of the season, especially with those wins against Mississippi and LSU. And, you embarrassed Florida State. You sacked Florida State 8 times. You forced 8 Florida State fumbles. And you're down on the fans. I can understand that. There's a difference between college fans and pro fans. If there's one thing I've learned in this business, that is it. Pro fans, Jaguar fans want your opinion and they want the story and don't cut to the chase. Give it to us. Right? I'm on the other side of just about all of you out there. because I want an offensive player, whether it's Will Campbell, Membu, whether they trade down, get McMillan. I'd love Travis Hunter. I want offense. I've been saying that for months. You're telling me no, defense. Okay. But it's not personal. It's my opinion, and you disagree. When it gets to the college game, I mean, everything's personal. You're a closet Gator. Why are you down on the Knowles? I mean, it's just, I've never really understood why it's personal in college. And it's not at the NFL level. I never get, Ballou, you're from Boston. You're really a Patriots fan, aren't you? I mean, I used to be. I told you that. I don't walk away. I don't hide from anything. But regardless of my opinion, it's taken as just that. The college game is just totally different, man. How the sensitivity on how stories are delivered is really psychotic. I feel that way. I do. I feel like my alma mater, regardless of what's going on over there, you have to be gentle and tell the story through rose-colored glasses. A lot of people I know, and a lot of people who contact me who I don't necessarily know, have forgiven Mike Norvell because he took the Gator flag out of the Seminole head. They have let 8 fumbles go. They have let 8 sacks go. They have let a total embarrassment against almost every team that they played last year, getting absolutely destroyed, go, because their head coach took the flag out of the Seminole head and threw it to the ground. Think about that for a moment. Think about how soft that is. Okay? Real Seminole fans could care less about that crap and are far more concerned about 8 fumbles in one game. 8? How do you fumble do they practice? How do you fumble 8 times? But hey, if it works for you, fine. I've said all along, the 4 wins of the Jacksonville Jaguars is so gone. It is so far down the road because of what this organization has done. And with the transparency and things that we're seeing, including the hunt last week, and things that you're reading, there is a glimpse of a turnaround and a chance. And that's great. But how could you ever have that in Tallahassee? I mean, this is year 6. This is year 1 for Cohen. This is year 6 for Mike Norvell. Do you think I like sitting here saying, I don't know if he can coach? I don't know if he can coach. Do you know he can coach? He's had 3 losing seasons, surrounded by those 19 wins in a row. I don't know if he can coach. And what would you accept? I mean, the most diehard Seminole fan, what would you accept if I said, sign up right now, 7-5 Florida State fans? Would you take it? And if you looked at me and said yes, I feel like I want to take my head and drive it through a wall. You're going to say yes to a 7-5 and go into year 7 with Mike Norvell after a record of 7-5? That's Florida State you're talking about. Hell no. Absolutely no. Not even close to that. So I don't know if it's the older we get and maybe the younger fans, winning doesn't mean as much to you as it used to. Or it's very convenient just to make an excuse. right? I can't do that. And there's a lot of things I've changed. Like, if you notice, I will not tweet about Florida State football anymore, especially in game. Screw it. You're not getting my opinion on Twitter during Florida State games anymore. You'll get it here during the show. Okay? I mean, I say something positive, man, I may get 1 or 2 likes. I say something negative, I'll get 1,000. And people saying this, saying that, whatever it may be. I'm just tired of it. I'll give you my damn opinion when I'm ready here on the radio. But as far as Twitter, no way. Those vouchers, screw it. Those days are over. I did not tweet once last year during Florida State football, during a game. And you know what? It was refreshing. It was nice. Things were bad enough. The last thing I want to do is battle pissed off Florida State. Now, I tweeted every single drive during the Jaguars game. And you know what it is? It's an adult conversation. Whether you agree or disagree, come sit at the big kids, come sit at the grown-ups table. It was adult. Whether you like it or disliked it, Jaguar fans understand what is going on. The college game? Hell no. There's a big-time difference. Yeah, I remember going back and saying, man, do I really want to come over here and work in 96? I remember just sitting thinking, Bowden, Pat Kennedy, Mike Martin, I got the keys to the franchise, interview all these players. Do I really want to come over here and do an NFL thing? I remember really, really weighing it. And, it's literally night and day. This is big time. On campus, man, you're almost forced to say things, or your access will be denied, or you'll be looked at cross-eyed. That's never been the case here. Going back to the days when I covered Tom Coughlin. Never. No way. So, sorry if I was a little self-serving, but I put a lot of effort into this, and I've never been able to fully understand why you can be a Jag fan or a Gator fan, or a Jag fan and a Knoll fan. And when someone like me tells you something about the Jaguars, you take it for what it is. But when it's a college take, it's personal. Much more to do with you tonight till 8 o'clock right here. We call this Into the Night.
I'm Mr. Rurik. Let me officially welcome you to
1010XL, where we make sports fantasies happen.
Yes! Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Leon Searcy here. Let's be real. I used to eat like a lineman because I was one. And man, those habits are hard to break. I needed help to stop with the munchies and lose weight. But now, I'm bringing sexy back. I call Physician Guided Weight Loss. Their medical team is helping me shed pounds safely with a custom plan to help me slim down. And their firm pricing means same price every month. Hey, you want to bring sexy back? Visit Physician Guided Weight Loss at pgweightloss.com.
Tired of seeing the signs of aging? Spring is here, a time to renew. I'm Dr. Mark Capel, a board-certified dermatologist, here to help you look and feel your best with minimal to no downtime. Rejuvenate your skin, strengthen your core, and sculpt your body with advanced face and body treatments designed to restore your youthful glow and confidence. Just in time for spring and summer. A healthier, more fit you starts now. Visit dermagnify.com and step into spring looking and feeling your best.
As a Florida homeowner, you're no stranger to mosquito problems. And although it's tempting to use DIY methods to get rid of them, mosquitoes are relentless. That's why it's important to enlist the help of the mosquito experts at Florida Pest Control. At Florida Pest Control, we offer specialized treatment solutions that are effective against mosquito infestations and are committed to keeping our customers protected year-round. For your free quote, give us a call or visit flapest.com today. Florida Pest Control, your local mosquito control experts.
A combination of peacefulness and electric energy. Look at this. Masters updates on 1010XL are gripped by topdressing.com and St. John's Middle School Athletic Association.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, here to share with you an actual client review.
Dude, these shirts are sick.
Check out the shirts and other sick promo items at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents. Look no further, though, than I-9 Sports, covering Duval, St. John's, and Clay to get your youngster in the game. Spring and summer registration open right now for flag football, soccer, t-ball, and basketball. Plus, all new girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows. I-9 Sports with fields and gyms all over 3 counties. And the best thing is I-9 Sports offers sports year-round so kids can always find a sport to play. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
1010XL's draft previews are brought to you by Hurricane Grill and Wings.
Abdul Carter would be a tremendous pick if he falls to the Jaguars at 5. The former Nittany Lion got pressure on 18.5% of his pass rushes last season, helping him register 12 sacks and 23.5 tackles for loss. His ability to play off the ball and off the edge will draw comparisons to Micah Parsons, and that would be a welcome addition to the Teal and Black arsenal already on the edge that features Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite roofing contractor lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjax.com.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey man, what's that noise?
Do you hear it too? You can hear it, right?
Yeah, it's your air conditioner. It's like a grinding or a rattling.
And it's getting on your nerves, right? Like it's eating at your brain and you can't think straight? But it just keeps grinding and squeaking and taunting and nagging. You're not good enough. You're a failure. Why can't you be more like your sister, the lawyer?
Yeah, I don't hear that last part so much.
Yeah, but it's not cool, right, Jason?
It could definitely be cooler. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we can totally repair whatever that noise is and get your AC working smoothly and silently. We fix these things all the time.
So I won't be a failure?
Life should be enjoyed. If some irritating, broken air conditioner is making you crazy, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Warm weather means the beach, fishing, golf, and more. Make sure to drop into Daly's and grab a cold case to go. From Bud Light to their seltzer, from Mick Ultra to Modelo, or your favorite crafts like Gold City or Sweetwater. Grab and go at your local Daly's.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
Well, we got an update for you. The Gators up 1-0 over the Seminoles. It is in the top half of the third inning. This game in Gainesville. Florida beat Florida State in Tallahassee. Florida State won here in Jacksonville a few weeks ago. So this is the rubber matchup Florida State had been rolling, man. They got destroyed Saturday and Sunday by Wake Forest. I mean, they just got obliterated. It was like 14-0 and like 17-3. They won Friday night, but we'll see what happens in this game. Again, top half of the third inning, 1-0 Florida, and of course, the Gators are celebrating their national championship. Down 12 a night ago. Stingy defense in the second half. The statistic that just really describes it all is Houston scored 15 points in the final 2 minutes and 5 seconds in their come-from-behind victory against Duke on Saturday night. Houston in the final 2 minutes and 5 seconds last night against Florida did not score. And the Gators trailed by 6 or more in 4 of their 6 games in the second half. And they came from behind to win it. So, pretty impressive right there. Great season. Florida wins the national championship. 87.99 says, Ballou, how do you feel as an FSU fan that Florida has won 3 national titles in both football and basketball? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I'm not happy. Would you expect anything less from me? But I'm not violent. You know, if this makes any sense, this is by far the easiest one for me to accept, if there is such thing as that. And I'm not sure why that is. I think it's because of the way they came back in these games. I mean, you know, trying to be objective, just because I'm a fan of a school, in this case Florida State, or you know, want to see the Jaguars do, I always believe that regardless of that, you should always try to be honest and objective. And what Florida did was just filthy. I still can't believe what they did against Texas Tech. That was nuts. So, yeah, I mean, every once in a while you got to tip the cap. Florida State just tied it up at 1 apiece here in the top half of the third inning. I don't know if I want to get to that. We only got a couple of minutes left before Hacker Nation ends up coming in here. But I played Cimarron a couple weeks back, probably lost most balls in the first 5 holes that I played. Beautiful course, though. Yeah, Cimarron is in spectacular shape, and you're right. If you slice those first 5 holes, you're wet. You've played Cimarron, right?
I played it a couple times.
First 5 holes, man.
Water to the right, water to the right, water to the right, water to the right, water to the right.
5 straight holes.
Yeah, if you're right-handed and you got a slice, you can kiss it goodbye.
No doubt about that. Absolutely. Yeah, we're out there in the morning. No, actually, late morning. Going to see a lot of 92.5 FM listeners out there. Really looking forward to it. And then we're going to do our show after. So we invite you to come on by. If you're in the neighborhood there on 210, we're going to have $4 wells, some drink specials. We got a simulator that's going to be out there. The 12th hole at, Amen Corner. I'm going to raise some money there for, I'll get the exact on that. I believe it's a junior league here in town. So to support that, you have some live entertainment out there playing some guitar. So it's going to be a fun event, and a lot of folks signed up for it to come on out and play. This will be the first one that we'll do. Perhaps we'll do more as we do move forward. But anyway, that should be pretty cool. It says, oh, snap, Ballou went from 0 to 100 in 2.3 seconds. I don't know what I did. What did I do? You know, I can't figure that out. But anyway, yeah, it is what it is. CRS 092 says, Gabe Davis changed his jersey number. I wonder if it's 2 times a larger size. Gabe Davis.
Hey, you're not making anything of the Devin Lloyd wearing number 0 now.
Out of all the guys that are going to be out there this year, Devin Lloyd, to me, is one of the most interesting things because we don't know what this defense is going to be, and we don't know how he comes into play. it feels like they're not going to pick up that fifth-year option that they did with Trayvon Walker. I mean, today's what, April 8th, so they got 22 days. But it feels like it's not going to happen. And if you're going to pick it up, wouldn't you do it at the same time? No, I don't know that. They could be working with negotiations on a deal. It just feels like this is it for Devin Lloyd. This feels like Andre Sisco of a year ago, that he's playing out his final year. But I still think there's a chance there with really good coaching. I do. I wouldn't bet on it because he can't cover, and that's his biggest problem. But he's pretty solid against the run. I do. I think there's a real, again, out of all the guys on the defense, he's one that I would look at that is going to be really interesting once camp gets underway.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Gators beat the Knolls in baseball tonight. I'm calling in sick tomorrow. I'm just letting you know right now.
Yeah, I think I'm going on about 3 hours of sleep. I've already done an hour podcast, the Frangie show, and now I'm here, and it's going to be a riveting 2 hours. I got to tell you, man.
You're on fumes, but they're good fumes, man. Yeah, I mean, you got to love shows like this.
It's unreal. I mean, it's unreal. Look, the back-to-back teams were incredible, obviously. But in those games, particularly the second year, there was never a game that was really in doubt. It was a lot of domination by Noah and Horford and Brewer. In this run, 4 of the games you're losing in the second half, 4 of the games you're losing with 5 minutes to go, and to find a way to win all of them and cap it off last night with a national championship, it doesn't get a whole lot better than that.
And your best player struggles, but then makes 2 huge buckets and a foul and makes the free throws for 3-point plays, buries the three-pointer, but then he comes up on the defensive side and don't even allow a shot.
Yeah, huge defensive play. And how about Todd Golden? Todd Golden did not have an NCAA tournament win 3 weeks ago. Now he's got 6 wins and a national championship, and he went through Dan Hurley, Bruce Pearl, and Kelvin Sampson to get that national championship. Just an absolutely incredible story for the youngest coach to win a title since Valvano back in '83.
Yeah, no doubt. So big stuff with that coming up tonight. What else you got going on?
Yeah, Mark Wise is going to join me. He's joined me pretty much the entire tournament and then some. So we're going to have him one more time to recap the Gator National Championship win last night. Also, John Shipley, Jaguars on SI, as the Jaguars reported back to work today. We'll talk a little Jaguars with Shipley coming up at about 9 o'clock.
All right. Have a lot of fun.
Thanks, Rick.
That's going to do it for us as well. Join us tomorrow at Cimarron. All right. We're going to be out there, and Aaron Beasley will be out there with me. We'll hear from him. We'll hear from Donovan Darius, among others. And it'll be the eve of the Masters. That's going to be a blast as well. No doubt about it. Folks, I do appreciate you being with us over the last couple of hours. Thank you to the Boston Capper. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. Packers coming up right now. And again, we'll be with you tomorrow live from Cimarron on 210. Come on by and say hello. Have some drink specials for you.